It's that time again. I am on my way to the beautiful San Fernando Valley. It's a nice hot summer day. It's been a while since I've done one of these valley videos, so I thought it's time to do one. And I did another San Fernando Valley video where I said that I didn't really have a plan. We were just going to be driving around and talking about what we saw, and that one was a little bit of a fib. I mean, I did do that in the video, but I also had somewhat of a plan for that video. Now for this one, I completely have no plan. I said, let's just go out, drive around, and talk about what we see. So, I don't know, hopefully I see some stuff that sparks some memories, and I'll have some stuff to talk about. Now, before we get started, I want to thank my newest Patreon supporters. Let's see how many of your names I mispronounce. So a huge thank you to Brandon Kirkpatrick, Damian Checkbound, Activer Sky, David Maradiaga, Robin Strotman, and L. Wookie. Thank you all so much for the support. I really appreciate it. If you would like to support me on Patreon, you can visit patreon.com/80slife. Now let's go see what we can find. Now I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this school a couple of times in past videos. This is Crespi Carmelite High School, and I thought we would come over here and just get a little bit of a closer look because I'm pretty sure some of my viewers went to this school, and that's because there is no high school in Encino. Regardless of what Encino man would have you believe, there is no Encino High School. This is it, Crespi Carmelite High School. And a few moments ago when I said that there wasn't a high school in Encino, what I meant is there's not a public high school. So if you lived in this area, you either went to Crespi or you had to go up to Reseda and go to Reseda High or Birmingham. I did not attend Crespi, but I had a lot of friends that went here, so I did spend some time here, went to some football games. Now they had something here, not sure if they still do it. It was called the Hoot Nanny, and if you were in a band and you attended either Crespi or the sister school, you got to perform in the Hoot Nanny. And originally one of my band members attended the sister school, and then later one of my band members attended Crespi, so we performed at the Hoot Nanny a couple of times. The first time we ever performed at it, it was inside the gym, and it was actually a really big production. It was a lot of fun. And then the next two times that we performed at it, it was right out here in the street. Yeah, right over here, right behind where the Ralph's is. They built a stage, and like I said, they blocked off this entire street, and it was packed with people. And we did that 2 years in a row. Maybe if you shot at this Ralph's or something, you might have heard my band out here being really loud and obnoxious, and you might have thought, what was that awful noise? And it was me. I talked about that first Hoot Nanny that was inside the gym, and I think that's this right here. I don't know, it was a long time ago. But what was really cool about that first Hoot Nanny was they let me be the lighting guy. Back then I was really interested in stage lighting, and so my friend that attended this school, he convinced them to let me be the lighting guy, and we came here and we built a large scaffolding to put all my lights on, and it was really cool. And so that was my first time getting to do stage lighting for a performance. Tarzana Square on Ventura Boulevard, a shopping center that definitely reminds me of my childhood here in the San Fernando Valley. And right over here, this is now a Black Bear Diner, but when I was a kid, this was a Bob's Big Boy, and I used to come here pretty often with my family. We really enjoyed going to Bob's Big Boy. And then right over here is a Round Table Pizza. It's still there, and we used to go there pretty often as well. Definitely remember spending some fun nights at this Round Table, eating pizza and playing video games. Glad to see it's still here. Now, one memory that I have of this shopping center was coming here to go to Bob's Big Boy with my family, and it was really crowded. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday night, and so we were looking for parking, and as we got more over here by the Round Table Pizza, a car backed out right into my dad's car, and it was a younger guy. He backed right into our fender and put a nice sized dent in it. And my dad got out to deal with the situation, found out that the guy didn't have a driver's license. And then somewhere over here in front of these shops, there was a payphone. My dad told my mom to go call the police. Now, the guy who hit my dad was probably only like 16 years old, and he started begging and pleading with my dad not to call the police. And my dad was just too nice of a guy, and he told my mom to hang up the phone, and he got the guy's phone number, but of course the guy gave him a phony phone number. But somehow, I don't remember exactly how, but somehow my parents still tracked him down. If I remember correctly, the phone number that he gave to my parents was like a friend of a friend's phone number. Not too bright, but so my parents were still able to track him down. And so here's the weird memory that I have with this story. I remember going with my dad to the body shop and meeting up with this guy. He came with this uncle because he was really intimidated. So I remember standing there next to my dad while my dad talked to this guy's uncle, and the guy was standing, you know, right behind his uncle. And for some reason, I have a very vivid memory of the shirt that the guy who hit my dad was wearing. It was a very 80s looking shirt. It was a button-up shirt, and all over it, it said, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. I cannot tell you what I had for dinner 2 nights ago, but I remember that shirt like it was yesterday. So I think because of that accident and the round table pizza and the Bob's Big Boy, those are all the reasons why this shopping center reminds me of my childhood, and that's why I now have my P.O. box here in this shopping center. So a few videos ago, I showed this building across the street, and I asked all of you to help me remember what was the name of the sandwich shop that used to be located in this building. And I just realized that I never did a follow-up video letting all of you know what I found out. So thanks to my viewers who wrote in, I now know that the name of the sandwich shop that used to be located here was called the Union Sub. And like I talked about in that video, I remember coming to Union Sub a lot with my family. And also, as I mentioned, right over there, there was another restaurant that I don't remember what it was, but they had arcade games. And I remember we would go to Union Sub and order our sandwiches, and then I would walk over to that restaurant and play arcade games. I have a distinct memory of playing Dig Dug while we were waiting for our sandwiches to be made. Now, this building is currently part of a collision center. Sometime before this, it was a flower shop, and I do remember driving by when it was the flower shop. Luckily, they have kept the sign the same. Right up there where it says Sherman Oaks, that is where it said Union Sub, and then that circle above that, that was the Pepsi logo. And once we found out that this was called Union Sub, I started searching the internet trying to find pictures, and I wasn't able to find anything. But thanks to my amazing wife, who spent a lot of time searching the internet, she was able to find one picture. There's actually an episode of the TV show Adam 12 where they drive right by Union Sub, and you can just barely see the sign in the background. You can see right there where it says Union Sub, and then like I mentioned, that circle above it, you can see the Pepsi logo. Okay, so I showed you Crespi High School, so I thought I would bring you over here and show you the sister high school, which is south of Ventura Boulevard, a bit up into the hills off of Topanga Canyon. Come up here and turn on Mulholland Drive, and then up Mulholland Drive a couple of blocks is the sister high school. And then somewhere here, I don't remember which house it was. I don't know, maybe, you know, I think it was this one. Again, I don't know if it was true, but it was always rumored that this was John Stamos's house. Surprise! All right, and then just about a block or so past John Stamos's house, allegedly John Stamos's house, this was Louisville High School. And again, this is the sister school of Crespi. Crespi was where all the boys went, and then Louisville is where all the girls went. And I know this school because this is where my girlfriend at the time, this is the school she attended. All right, let me roll my window down so you can get a better look. I thought we would be able to go in and I could show you the campus, but there's actually a guard there now. There didn't used to be a guard there, so I guess I won't be able to take you in to show you the school. But this was, I went to some dances here as well, and you know, hung out here a bit because, like I said, my girlfriend attended the school. But this is as close as we're gonna be able to get, I guess. Used to hang out sometimes at this shopping center at the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Topanga Canyon, and there wasn't anything really too cool here, but my girlfriend at the time lived just about a block over that way, so that's why we would hang out over here. Right there was a Thrifties or a Rite Aid, and I didn't know that it's now gone, but we used to come over here and get ice cream. And then probably the coolest thing here was where Petco now is. That was a Blockbuster Music. If you remember Blockbuster Music, it was kind of short-lived.
I mean, it's cute, but it's so little.
Need to increase your music collection?
Sorry.
Blockbuster Music's got thousands of titles to choose from.
And it wasn't a really cool store. It was very corporate, even more so than Tower Records. But since it was within walking distance, we would come over here and hang out. And I just remembered that one time we were walking over here to go to that Blockbuster Music, and we were crossing the street right here in this intersection, and there was a guy waiting at the light in a blue Volkswagen Bug, and we were crossing the street, and I had my big blue mohawk, and as we crossed by him, he looked at me and he said, "Your hair looks like crap," except for he didn't use the word crap. He used a different word, a not so nice word, and he was very aggressive about it, very angry, and I remember it really bummed me out. And then he came over here to the Blockbuster Music and he parked in front and he hung out with his friends, and then we didn't want to go hang out at Blockbuster Music anymore. It ruined it for us. Now, we used to also hang out at this intersection of Topanga Canyon and Victory, again, because my friend lived close by, and right over there is the Topanga Mall, and right across the street used to be the Topanga Movie Theater, and then right over there was Toys R Us and Tower Records, so there was a lot of stuff to do right here at this intersection. And I remember one time we were coming from the Topanga Mall and we were walking over to either the Toys R Us or Tower Records, and we were walking along this grassy hill, and right over here was one of those, I don't know what they're called, but the big metal plate on the ground to get access underground. Not a manhole, but something else. And we used to like to run and jump on those because it made this loud echoey sound. We were very easily entertained. And so we saw this and we started running towards it, and I pushed my friend out of the way. It was somewhere over here. It's not here anymore. I'm gonna guess it was where this sign is, but we ran up and I pushed my friend out of the way and I jumped on it with all my might, and I guess whoever was in that hole last, they didn't put the cover back on correctly, because when I came down on it, the cover, it caved in and I fell right into the hole. Luckily, my reflexes kicked in, my arms went out, and I stopped myself, and when I pulled myself out of the hole, we looked down inside and there was 2 pieces of rebar sticking straight up, and it was so crazy to think that I could have died right there just because I wanted to jump on this metal plate in the ground. It still kind of gives me the creeps when I think about it. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.